Hey guys. I should have started outside because that's honestly the way you should start a house tour. Never inside, never. Oh, there goes my door. Hang on. I am beyond excited to show you the reveal of the Millie's Remodel house. But before we go inside, I want to take you back and remind you what this house looked like when I bought it. The tan vinyl siding and forest green shutters were screaming 1990s, but this house was built in 1957, so I knew she had some class in her. Unbelievably, when I removed the vinyl siding, I found the original wood siding in pristine condition underneath. For a more modern look, the entire house was painted with Roma Bio mineral paint and Sage Advice. I built the modern wood shutters and shared the tutorial with you here on YouTube. Just click on that link up there. The forest green door got a quick makeover with a fresh coat of Loyal Blue paint by Sherwin-Williams. Are you ready to see inside? I'm so glad you can't smell how bad the house smelled when I bought it. A concoction of menthol cigarettes, fish, and mold permeated the whole house. Every room had dated fixtures. Hello, faux wood and rattan ceiling fan. The kitchen was behind that odd bump out in the room, and there were multiple floors in the house. After easily popping up the laminate flooring, I had my work cut out for me removing these glue-down tiles. But luckily, underneath the layers, I discovered beautiful hardwood floors. Okay, so they did need a little TLC before they looked beautiful. The biggest change I made in the house was removing the odd bump out to open up the kitchen. Before removing any walls, I consulted with my structural engineer. After covering the popcorn ceiling with a half-inch layer of drywall, we installed new lighting throughout the house. Kichler was a sponsor of the Millie's Remodel project, so all the lighting and fans you'll see are from Kichler. Although not super stylish, those lights that look like recessed lights are actually surface-mounted LED lights called Horizon 2. They add a ton of light and don't require any clearance in the space above the ceiling. Here's a quick look at what that kitchen looked like before. Those cabinets were falling apart and they reeked. The kitchen was demoed to the subfloor and I had to do a ton of work to block the floor joists and level the floor with self-leveling concrete. Can you believe this is the same space? And am I the only one who fell in love with those hexagon pendants from Kichler? I owe a big thank you to Elizabeth Burns Design, who helped me with the new layout for the kitchen. I saved some money on cabinetry by purchasing flat-packed cabinets and installing them myself with the help of a few friends. One of my favorite features of the kitchen are the floating shelves with LED strip lighting underneath. This is low voltage dimmable lighting from Kichler. And because I love you, I made a DIY video tutorial for creating those super strong floating shelves here on YouTube. Let's take one more peek at this kitchen before. Removing that bump out where the fridge was made such a big impact. I chose to install an inexpensive kitchen sink, but selected this champagne bronze faucet to add that look of luxury. To protect the house from wood rot, gutters were added to the front and back of the house, but we had a dilemma where the gutter stopped over the back porch. Instead of an unsightly downspout, I purchased a rain chain and I love how it looks when the rain spills down it. To create more storage, I added a drop zone inside the back door for coats, bags, and potentially feed dishes for a pet. This area was a necessity because I turned an old coat closet into a spacious pantry for storing dry goods and more across from the kitchen. Let's head to the back of the house to view the bedrooms. The first thing I did was pull out the stinky brown Berber carpeting. Between doing that and painting these rooms, it really took care of the odors. Half-inch sheetrock covered the popcorn ceilings and new modern ceiling fans from Kichler were installed in the bedrooms. Let me introduce you to the Ridley 2 from Kichler. Yes, those are real wood blades. If you have a sharp eye, you may have noticed that none of the doors match in this house. Luckily, I scored inexpensive flat panel doors from my local Habitat Restore. Bedroom number 2 got the same drywall in the ceiling, new paint, and a modern ceiling fan. I am super impressed with how the floors cleaned up after being sanded and refinished. They truly add character and value to this vintage house. All the doors got a few coats of dark night paint from Sherwin-Williams and modern door hardware from Schlage. I wanted to take a minute to explain why I choose to keep the original windows. You can always repair a single pane window. These windows are still operational, and the exterior storm windows make them almost as energy efficient as new double pane windows. It's time to see the star of this house. This was the only bathroom before renovations. Behind the original blue tiles was a host of wood rot, mold, and a stud cavity full of discarded old rusty razors. Anyone else find these treasures in their house? Before we see this unbelievable transformation, I'd like to thank all the sponsors of the Millie's Remodel project. Truly, thank you guys. It's undeniable that the Lily cement tiles are the best feature of this bathroom. I chose white sublay tile for the shower area so as not to upstage the Vegas 3 pattern floor. I fell in love with this lighted mirror from Kichler, and I will definitely be adding something similar to my own bathroom. Do you recognize this vanity? I made it from a dresser. I'll link my tutorial to turn a dresser into a sink vanity above and in the description below. I chose to replace the old toilet, sink, and bathtub with new fixtures from Ferguson. This is the first time I've used Schluter profiles instead of caulk in a shower area. I have a video detailing why and how I installed them to create a maintenance-free shower. One of the biggest surprises about this property so close to downtown is the large backyard. Pay close attention to that eyesore of a shed. My son, my husband, and I rolled it to the back of the yard. Yes, I said rolled it. You can see how to easily move a shed in my video linked above. After leveling the shed, it got a new paint job and trim. One of the features you can't see is our new Centricon termite bait system. Having a termite treatment system is essential for protecting your real estate investment. I have an entire video explaining how the system works. Another eyesore and earsore we replaced was the old HVAC unit. A new train unit was installed, which should last decades and provide peace of mind while I own this property as a rental. Feast your eyes on that little transom window. This was where the access to the laundry room was. How inconvenient to have to go outside to do laundry. My mason did a fantastic job breaking up the entrance so we could add a doorway into the house. By purchasing a stacked washer and dryer, we had just enough space to add a small powder room into the house that previously only had one bathroom. These gorgeous tile floors are more Lily cement tiles in the Mia 4 pattern. Back outside, I decided to build a new modern style fence along the driveway. To save money, we removed a dilapidated fence on the other side and continued with PVC fencing that matched the section of fence already there. It's not my preference to have different fence styles, but my budget was tight. I'm so honored you came along for this final reveal tour of the Millie's Remodel house. What was your favorite room? Let's take one last look at the exterior progression. After painting the brick with Roma Bio's sage advice and adding new shutters, the only thing missing was landscaping. Thankfully, Steel sent me some strong battery-powered tools to clean up the yard and add some foundation plantings. For more details, sources, and individual projects on the Millie's Remodel project, be sure to visit my blog or watch the Millie's Remodel playlist here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to click that like button below if you liked it. And hey, don't forget to click that subscribe button up there, and you'll never miss another DIY video tutorial from Pretty Handy Girl again. Speaking of not missing anything, I'm on all these social channels. Come find me at Pretty Handy Girl.